All right, it's 5:34, and we're just about to run out of a Wednesday. Thomas is over at Stockton Mortgage. Thomas, what's happening with y'all tonight? What's going on?
Oh man, we were helping people save money. That's what's going on tonight for sure.
I like that.
Hey, man, it's been a great day, getting ready for Christmas, and man, we closed up another fantastic deal where we help people save hundreds of dollars. Had a local family that contacted us again off your show that we just got closed up today. That they had called us and had wanted to sit down with us and talk about their finances, and we were looking at all of their different credit card debt. We ended up paying off some credit cards, paying off all their credit cards, had lots of equity in their home. But this time, they had a great rate on their first mortgage. So, what didn't make sense for us to pay that off because they had such a low rate. So they had good credit, so we were able to get them a home equity line and do a second mortgage, and which made more sense for their situation. We did a second mortgage, home equity line, and paid off all their credit card debt through that. Paid off a car and some other stuff, and saved them $850 a month. And plus with that home equity line, the line was a little bit bigger than what they needed, so they still have access to some additional funds if they needed, funds later on down the line. They still
Yeah.
can access that later. So we have those programs available. So, and that's what we do. We sit down, and each person that we talk to, every person's situation is a little bit different. And so we try to put a plan together that fits their needs and their financial situation. So, give us a call. Let us sit down with you. There's no pressure. If it's not for you right now, that's quite all right. But we can take a look and see what fits best for you and show you how we can save you money. So give us a call, 205-859-8859, or savewithstockton.com.
SaveWithStockton.com. They've got this site set up just for this audience. Y'all reach out to them. Even as we head up to the holidays, I know y'all are going to be doing your family stuff, Thomas, but you guys work all the time, and people can reach
That's
out
right.
to you and get that conversation going.
That's right. We'll always be just a phone call away.
All right, Thomas. Appreciate you, man. We'll talk to you
Yes,
tomorrow.
sir.
There's
All
Thomas
right.
tonight checking in with y'all. Save with Stockton.com. All right, here's a little peek at what I believe may be part of the president's speech tonight, and this is bold. Let's kind of spend a little bit of time with this. The immigration issue is multifaceted. Okay, so you've got people crossing the border legally and illegally. You've got people that cross the border on land and through the air, and I guess just in some ways by the sea. Not drug boats, though. Those are over. We're ending those. You've got, again, with either legal or illegal immigrants, because of the way the 14th Amendment has been interpreted by the courts in some cases that are dueling cases. We've got something in this country called birthright citizenship. Okay. That is, if you were born here, you're automatically a citizen. Now, most people understand this. I'm just putting it on its most base level. No matter if your parents are here illegally, if you're just present in the country when your mama downloads you onto the soil of this nation, you're an automatic citizen. There are very few countries in the world that do that. Some countries trace their citizenship. There's two ways it's described: by dirt or by blood. Dirt would be your presence and the jurisdiction that you're in, or if your parents are subject to that jurisdiction. Others by if you have a bloodline that traces back to those countries. Okay, are y'all with me? Countries are very strict about this stuff too because they can't get overrun by the naturalization process. Um, and so the president we have a Supreme Court case that could be landmark. I don't know when the ruling is going to come out. They usually throw those out right at the end of the year before the holidays. So I don't know if there's a schedule for it. But one of the cases taken up by the court was about birthright citizenship. And Also, others that came here and got citizenship through the naturalization process. So you've got the birthright process, and then you got where you come here and you go through the steps to become a citizen. There's a report tonight that part of what Trump's going to talk about tonight is to ramp up plans to denaturalize foreigners who somehow gained citizenship illegally, taking away their citizenship. In other words, they went through the process, but they did so with fraud. I would give you, by example, Ilhan Omar, total fraud. She got her brother in here. She committed immigration fraud. She committed a lot of other problems. It wasn't just her and her community stealing money in Minnesota. She's not the only one, though. Our system is so not safeguarded to this kind of abuse that we've got a lot of people that are they've gotten illegally legal citizenship. And so we've got these efforts to deal with that. That's not even the people that are MS-13 or Trinidad, Aragua, and they've broken laws and killed people and stolen stuff, and they're getting rounded up in our cities and put on planes. That's good. They need to be gone. But there's the cleanup on aisle 5 of what should be a rational process of letting people in, and then, of course, the process of birthright. Now, we need to end birthright. The Chinese have something they even call we call birthright tourism. They'll book their citizens to fly, pregnant women to fly to the United States and spend the last couple of months of their pregnancy here so that their kids have citizenship when they're born. They're born in American hospitals. Sometimes they'll pay surrogates to do this as well. They get their kids born here and they take them. They'll pay surrogates to have eggs implanted, let the mom carry the kid, let it be born here, take it back to China. It's got American citizenship, so now they've got this dual status. And in some ways, that becomes another thing called chain migration, which is your anchor baby scenario. If the kid's here, you let the rest of the family come because now you've got a family member rooted here. And then through that process, you bring the whole family in. And that is adding to, in addition to people that just walked across the border or were flown here by Joe Biden and his team and handled and facilitated like a gigantic travel agency. But all of it is chaos. There's been no vetting of where these people are from and what do they bring that's in addition to the country. That's not new, and it's not racist. It is sound policy. It is rational. It is how we did it the whole existence of this country, except for the time period when Teddy Roosevelt shut the whole thing down. We had too much too fast. There was no assimilation. People were breaking off into their own communities, i.e. the Somalians in Minnesota, pretending that they've established New Somalia. They didn't want to become Americans. And I would submit to you that these people with Islamic beliefs, it's so inconsistent with our Constitution and our freedoms, they're not here to blend. They don't blend anywhere they go. They never have, all the way back to 700 AD. They come and they keep you can respect it, but they keep their beliefs, their education beliefs, their legalistic system for enforcing cultural codes, dress codes, food codes. They bring that with them. It's a political system, and they have a militant wing. They have a military, so to speak, that goes out and commits this jihad, that shoots people in school buildings or plans bomb attacks or flying airplanes into people all over the world. I said it yesterday, 65,000 attacks in the name of religion since 9/11 worldwide, and 98% of those were in the name of Islam. Other religions, there's some people that will claim attacks on behalf of their faith as well, other faith systems, but it's exceedingly rare, and it's not a worldwide threat. Of those 65,000 attacks worldwide, mostly in the West, because that's the new target, you're giving them the opportunity to do that because they're here. The 9/11 attackers came here on student visas, a legal process, to come here to be students, overstayed the visas, didn't go home, and hung around to commit their terror because we weren't looking. That was supposed to be a lesson we learned. Now we still have visa overstays. So as Trump continues to try to rectify this situation in the short time that he has, right now they're up to 2.5 million people. 500 or 600 or so have been deported directly. Another 1.9 million just went home. And some of that is because we're canceling visas. We're telling the overstays, hey, your deadline's here, go back home. That's a sane process. That's a rational process. It's what we're supposed to do. It's what our law requires. Go home. Nice having you here. Hope you enjoyed your studies. Your visas run out. Go home. And so then there's this citizenship issue, which has also been abused through cheating and fraud and some of these other measures. That has to be looked at as part of this whole equation. So it's the birthright citizenship. And what's the court going to do with that? If we end it, great. What do you do with the people that already came here and got it? What do we do with the birth tourism? It is a complex deal. It's not as simple as legal and illegal, because there's some legal migration that becomes illegal. Again, expiring visas, all that other stuff, fraud in the naturalization process. And then you got illegal immigration that can become legal. Are y'all following me? So you come here illegally, but you download a kid. Now you got a legal citizen and an illegal citizen living in the same house, and you got old purple hair hags rolling around in the streets trying to say, you can't deport them. We need clarity. We need clearness. We need enforcement of the laws. We need a measured process. I don't care where you're coming from. If you're coming from Somalia, come from Somalia. Probably be nice to meet you, but tell us why you want to be here. Bring your assets. Have a job. Have a purpose for being here. It's what we always did. Just the other day, I was able to take a look at the Statue of Liberty from a great distance. I haven't seen it in years up close. I've never been to Ellis Island, but I've gone around it in a boat. But you could see it from this observation place we were at on Saturday night. Excuse me, I'm gagging over here. And you think about all the immigrants that came through there, through Ellis Island in that process. You know what they did? You had to have some cash on you and show it to them. In those days, they didn't have a digital wallet. They checked you for TB and all kind of diseases. You couldn't just walk in here and bring your stuff. You had to have a place you were going, a family member that was here, a place you were going to stay, proof you had a job. You could not put yourself on the system. Why would they do that? Because as rich as we are, our resources are finite. We can't adopt the world. There have to be some standards, and you need to be an asset to the country. If you come here to stay here, you need to want to be us. That means keep your awesome food from your country. Keep your songs and your music. And your flag, you can wave that every now and then, but you're still striving to become an American. Learn the language. Blend in with us. Obey our laws. Follow our customs. Don't just shoot people when you disagree with them because you've got some global agenda. You got to vet that somehow. It is difficult. And some tribes and countries of people are more difficult to vet than others. Let's take Afghanistan. How in the hell are you going to vet that? We just had that attack a couple of weeks ago. How are you going to vet that person that came in under Joe Biden, under the idea that he helped us or was an asset in the Afghan war? They brought him in here. How do you vet that? He comes here, keeps his radical beliefs, eventually shoots 2 of our Guard members out in the middle of the streets, killing one. It's because of where he was from. It's that situation. So you need to be stricter on some countries than other countries. Some countries are more like us. They just are. I know we're a melting pot, but some countries are civil, and by that definition, also Western civilization. And it's an easier assimilation than somebody that's completely foreign in everything, culture, the cultural dynamics, the belief systems, the cultural cues and the language and the understanding of how to get along. In Europe, they're having to teach these men that are coming from parts of Africa and the Middle East that you can't just rape women when you feel like it. That was okay back in your place. We don't do that here. They have to teach that. Sounds absurd, but it's true. They have to have classes and PSAs and instruction. They've got signs on their public transportation that it's not okay to just grab a woman and pull her in the bushes because you're a man. So there's no assimilation. It's too late to do it once they get there. So it's a big issue, and I applaud Trump for the way they're approaching it this time with aggression, and I hope it is part of the speech tonight because it needs to be more aggressive. We've got millions to go to rectify this stuff. And then you got to reconcile people that deserve to be here. The other positive side of it, people that come here to contribute, that are hard workers. Maybe they came here, they got businesses going. They're serving the community. They've never caused a single problem. How do we vet that? We need to vet that. We need to give them the opportunity to go home and come back. The volunteer system would be the best way to go in the first place. Let them voluntarily go home and voluntarily come back. But our system is chaos. But the rules are there, the laws are there. They just need to be enforced. We could go back to what we were doing before. By the way, it worked. It worked for the whole existence of this country until the last 30 years. CrockerMovingServices.com. Y'all, if you got anything to move, whether you're going across the country or just got some big old stuff that you don't want to deal with, let Crocker help you. They are the pros, and I trust them to come to your house and take care of things like they have in my house. They're really going to be careful with your stuff. They've got the tricks. Now, look, they're better at it than you and I are. Plus, I'm getting old. I don't want to pull my back. I don't want to break my own stuff, pull my back, or strain my friendships. So it's worth every dime to have them come handle the heavy stuff. CrockerMovingServices.com. Eric Crocker is a total patriot, former Marine. He hires the best people in the business, and they really, really, really want to do well. 2-hour minimum means you don't have to book them all day. They'll scale their service to fit what your load is, what you've got to get moved, and they're really good at estimating that. I've never had them go over 2 hours. I pay them for the 2 hours. They come get my stuff done. We're done. CrockerMovingServices.com. All right, it's 5:55. And we got to go on home too. There's a lot to do before we get out of here. Real quick, Work Trucks, downtown Birmingham. If you have a business or an organization, you need a basic commercial vehicle. Sometimes you don't need a fancy one with all the sparkle paint, the extra doodads, and the electronics and all that stuff. You just need to get stuff done with it, and they've got them at Work Trucks. Designed for business, every kind of business, box trucks, flatbeds, vans of every shape and size, passenger vans, and all kinds of pickup truck configurations from dualies to plain, straight, regular cab pickups and everything in between, outfitted or not. Y'all, they've got financing. They'll take your trade in. They've got extended warranties. It's peace of mind, turnkey business, 125-point checklist. They just won't put a truck on the lot that hasn't met that checklist. It's Work Trucks, downtown Birmingham, 3rd Avenue South, TRUX, Work Trucks, LLC.com. Okay, there's another peculiar thing. A lot of focus on the security cameras on the Brown campus. So today we had that conflicting soundbite from the provost saying, no, we've got cameras and we had cameras in the building, blah, blah, blah. But there's this suspicion that some of them were turned off on purpose because there was a letter that was 35, quote, human rights groups sent a letter to the school just a few weeks ago asking them to turn off their security cameras to protect the civil rights of these illegals that are being rounded up by ICE. Okay, listen to me what I'm saying right now. And so the question is, did they turn them off? Is that what they're hiding? Is that why they're fumbling around? Because they can't catch this guy? Because they did a political move to fight the Trump administration by hiding evidence of illegals on their campus? Terrorism, maybe? I don't know. They were asked a question at the end of the news conference by a talk show host, a Hispanic talk show host there in Rhode Island. Take a listen to this. All right, so that's not what he asked. I mean, I know it was a very broken English. You know, here's the funny thing. The Hispanic radio show host guy asked his question in English. The police chief flips over to Spanish every now and then just to confuse people. He asked him, did you turn the cameras off? And then the guy's like, we gave him all the video that we have. What about the video you don't have? Did you turn the cameras off? That's a weird angle. It's weird. It's weird. Who knows what we'll find out by tomorrow. When we do find out whatever we don't know, we'll let you know. President tonight at 8, 3 hours from now. Well, 2 hours from now. AJ will be here to flip the switch, put that on. Y'all listen to it going up and down the road. I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about with that tomorrow. Allen and Company, one final sponsor here on the show tonight. Allen and Company. This is the place to get your bling. My boo thing went by there to get a chain repaired today. I had bought her a necklace a couple of years ago, and chain broke. You can trust them with that stuff too. Repairs, cleanings, upgrades, any of the stuff you want. Right now, it's gift-giving time, so they've got a range of things in all kinds of price ranges and sizes and shapes. Go in there, browse around, pick it out, let them gift wrap it for you, and you're done with that item. They're standing by now, extended hours during the holidays as we run up to Christmas. This is a family, two-generation business that I love working with. They're our friends and good partners of the show, and it's where I get all my bling. Allen and Company in Vestavia on Highway 31. Y'all go see them. Tell them we said hello. AJ, y'all have fun on Breaking Bread, man.
I appreciate it. Break break coming up next. Goodbye, AJ.